So my experiment was I had like a ball, and then I had like a surface and a height, and then I had a microphone. And I dropped the ball and recorded the bounce. And it went to my computer, and then I looked at the frequency and saw how like the height or the ball or the surface that it was bouncing on affected the frequency of the bounce itself. And so I tried, what?
Are you talking about the resonant frequency of the ball?
No, like
The noise it makes.
No, just the noise.
when it bounces, like if that was a ball, that noise when it hits. So it doesn't have to be. I mean, there is this weird guy that Dr. Schuster told me to look up, and he was talking about how a basketball has like, it makes the thump when it hits the ground, and then it has the ring from the air inside of it. That's the resonance thing. And he told me to look that up, and I looked it up, and I didn't really understand most of it, and it wasn't really the same as what I was trying to do, or it was a lot deeper, so I didn't really use it very much. But anyway, I tested a golf ball, a ping pong ball, a weird orange ball, and like a rubber bouncy ball. And then I looked at how the mass of the ball and the density of the ball and the height from which it was dropped and the surface all affect, like I did separate experiments of all of that. And I guess I found out that the height affected the pitch of each bounce in like a different way for each ball, which was kind of weird. Like the ping pong ball was like that, I think, or else it went the other way, but it was something exponential like that. Yeah, it was like that. When you dropped it from, yeah, this was like 1 meter, and then half a meter, and then 1 meter, 0.75, and then half a meter, and it made a graph like that. But then the other ones were like that, or like that, or something. So I didn't really, the height I didn't think affected, like there wasn't a relationship that carried across each ball the same way. So I said that wasn't really, either I screwed it up or it wasn't something that was like
Dependent. Yeah, it didn't affect your result.
Well, I mean, it affected the results, but not in the same way for each ball. So there were other variables that were also changing. Do you have a question?
Did you look at how like the coefficient of each ball affected them?
No, because I didn't like that lab, so I didn't want to get that far into it, to be honest.
I like that.
But so then I looked at the surface, and I tried, like, you know how you have those plastic sheets that go over carpet so that your desk chair can roll better?
Yes.
That was like the regular floor that I used. And then I used like a big sheet of fiber board that was thick and heavy and hard and stuff. And then I used my physics book. And like, I think it, generally the physics book had the highest frequency out of those. But it wasn't like, it was, for all of them, it was within a really small range of variance in the frequency.
What was the thing that?
Yeah, like the what?
What was like a pattern that you found that would continuously?
Oh, for the surfaces, well, it was like not a real graph because it was just like surface 1, surface 2, and surface 3. So it wasn't like a relationship between. But like the regular floor would be here, and then the book would be here, and then the wood would be there for all of them except the golf ball, which went like that. So like there are weird things like that. But then as for all of them, as the mass increased, the frequency decreased, which makes sense if you think about it, because like if you have a heavier ball, it's just going to drop and thump. Instead, like the ping pong ball was obviously the lightest one, so when you dropped it, it went ping or pong, whichever one you prefer. And it was a lot higher.
Well, let's take a couple questions. We got 5 minutes right now.
So what was your hypothesis?
I thought that the height wasn't going to affect anything, and I thought that the harder the surface, the higher the frequency, which wasn't exactly right because the wood was a lot harder than the physics book. And then I thought that the I thought that each ball would have a different pitch because I also tested well, I didn't test actually what the ball was made out of, but that's what the hypothesis was sort of. I said each ball will bounce with a different pitch. So when I change the ball, does that make sense?
Yeah.
When I use, and then, yeah.
Right on.
Cool. Let's thank our speaker.
It was more of I guess I could go a lot deeper into it. It was more of a thing to figure out what variables there were that would affect it in the first place rather than exact. I didn't find exact relationships very well, but I found what things affected it more than others. And I could go a lot further into it now.
Next semester, right?